Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some homemaking habits that have totally changed my life and adding so much peace and productivity to my days as a stay-at-home mom. I'm going to share the homemaking rhythms and systems that really help keep our home running smoothly, kind of like the foundational systems and routines that run in the background to keep our life just flowing smoothly. I think it's really important to share the tips and tricks that are working for us currently in managing our families, our homes, and our lives really well, because that's part of day-to-day life, right? We have to keep things running, we have to get things done, and trying to implement the systems when you don't know where to start can be really overwhelming. So I want to share what's working for me, and I'm super excited about this video. This video is also a collab with a really sweet friend of mine that I can't wait to introduce you to later in this video. And if you're new to this channel, hi, I'm KyAnn. I'm a wife and mom of 3 kids, currently 4 and under, and I share lots of content on this channel around homemaking, faith, motherhood, intentional daily rhythms, and a little bit of backyard homesteading as well. Really, we share a lot of just doing what you can with what you have, whether that's in regards to backyard homesteading and doing what we can here with our tiny 1/4 acre lot, or whether that's in regards to implementing intentional rhythms in your days as a stay-at-home mom to get more done and be present with your kids along the way. If that kind of thing resonates with you, I would love for you to subscribe and join this little YouTube family. And if you're not new around here, thank you so much for watching another video, and I'm so glad that you're here. As we get into this video, I'm actually going to share a very realistic look into my messy house. This is the start of the week when I'm filming this, and I don't know about you guys, but every weekend it tends to be that we get to Monday and there's a lot of cleaning up and resetting to do in our home. We are out of the house a lot more on the weekends, spending time with family, going out and doing activities together, and our regular rhythms are just different on the weekends. We don't follow the same systems and routines that we necessarily do during the week. We're just a lot more flexible with it. Sometimes we're doing like extra homestead projects that need to get done, or projects around the house, so objects from the project tend to pile up and things just get a little bit messy. So I find that I always spend a little bit of extra time on Monday mornings just getting things reset and back in order for the week ahead. So I'm going to bring you along with me so you can see a very real look at just what that looks like, how I'm tidying up and getting things back to normal, and then we're going to talk through all of those homemaking systems and habits that I mentioned that really help keep our home from getting to this place throughout the week so that things keep running fairly smoothly. Obviously there's work to do in maintaining that, but it keeps things running throughout the week really well. I am so excited because this video is actually a collaboration between me and Tiffany from Our Small Town Life here on YouTube. She is amazing. I have been following her channel for I think a few years now, for a while, and she is absolutely wonderful. I've absolutely loved getting to know her, and I know that you guys are going to love her channel. She lives on an acre of property, and they actually live in a mobile home that they renovated, so they've shared a lot about that over on their channel. And she also shares a lot of their homestead life and what they're able to do on an acre, all the different projects they have going on. It's so fun to see everything that they are up to. She also shares a lot of just large family life, like grocery hauls, daily routines, homemaking, all of that kind of thing, and I know all of that is like right up your alley. So I know that you guys are going to love her. She has 5 beautiful kids. She just really shares their day-to-day life and cooking from scratch and backyard homesteading, faith, all of that kind of thing. She just shares from a place of just really wanting to encourage other people while also being transparent with where they're at and what they're going through in each moment. Like, we're all learning as we go, and I just love that she brings you along for that, and it's just so realistic, but also finding joy in the journey. I know that you guys are going to love her, and she is also sharing a video on some of the homemaking rhythms that she does in her house to keep things running, to keep her home running on autopilot and all of that. So definitely go check out her video and let her know that I sent you. I know you guys are going to love her. If you hear anything weird in my voice, I'm still battling a little bit of a cold that seems to be sticking around. We have had several different sicknesses run through our family, but some of those, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but we have gotten coughs that just seem to hang on forever. And I've talked to a few different friends that have said similar things, so if my voice sounds a little funny, I apologize for that. As I get into this and talk about my favorite homemaking habits that really help our home to flow on autopilot, I'm not sharing these in any particular order, so I'm just going to share them and talk through them just in the order I have them written down. So the first thing I want to share about is planning planning meals weekly. I know that a lot of people just have differing opinions on planning meals, and I definitely want you to do whatever works best for your family. But for our family, I found that when I was just trying to come into the kitchen and just grab from the ingredients we have and pull things together every single day, it was honestly pretty mentally exhausting, because I would go in the kitchen around the time that I needed to start dinner, look through everything, get an idea in mind that sounded good, and then realize that I didn't have the right ingredients and I was just missing like 1 or 2 things that I could have easily added to my grocery list, but since I didn't meal plan ahead, I didn't have them. So then I would either have to substitute those ingredients, making the recipe quite a bit different, or start over with planning a new meal, and it just took a lot longer than it needed to do. So one thing that has made a huge difference for us is sitting down on Sunday afternoons, having a little weekly meeting with my husband, and I take a few minutes to just plan out our weekly meals. So I actually write out for each day. I fill in any spots that we won't be home and won't be eating dinner at home, whether that's because we're eating dinner at small group, so I need to plan something that I can bring to small group with us, or whether we're having a family dinner with extended family, or whatever that might be. I plug those things in so that I look at our calendar and make sure I know what evenings we're going to be home and making dinner at home, and then I just go ahead and plug meals in. And we will shuffle those meals around if we come to that day and I say I have spaghetti planned and that day spaghetti just doesn't sound good and we want to switch it to another meal, or say I have a meal that takes a little bit more time and we don't have enough time to prep that, I'll move it around to other days. So it is loose and we can move things around as we want to, but I find that actually having it written out just saves a lot of decisions that I have to make, so then I can just go in the kitchen, literally look at the day and the meal that I have planned, decide if that works for that day or not, and then just start making dinner rather than having to go through the process of figuring out what ingredients we have and all of that. The second thing that has made a really big difference for us, that is also in regards to meal planning and grocery shopping, is creating a staple grocery list. So I have in the notes app of my phone, I have written out a staple grocery list, and I started with a small list and then I just continually add to it over time. Just basically a pantry list of staple ingredients that I always want to have and I don't want to run out of. So I have things like olive oil on there, coconut oil, oatmeal, brown sugar, cane sugar, flour. We usually like to have some frozen vegetables on hand in the freezer so that we can pull that together if we need a quick meal. I mean, there's so many things that I have listed. All of our breakfast staples that we use, all of that kind of thing, it's in one list. So then when I go to meal plan every week, I just look through the meals that I have planned and add all of the ingredients that I need to my grocery list for each of those meals, and then I pull up my staple grocery list and go through my pantry and my fridge and make sure that I have all of those things, and any things that I'm missing or close to running out of, I add that to my grocery list as well. And so this has really helped to make sure that I'm not getting to, you know, Tuesday and I went and picked up my groceries on Monday and I'm already running out of the things that Okay, I'm interrupting this video really quick to tell you about my course, Simple Rhythms for Busy Moms. If you are a stay-at-home mom that is struggling to be productive in your days and get done what needs to get done while also being present with your kids, this course is for you. I created this course from my own experience, where I went through a couple years of just experiencing a lot of burnout and just feeling really overwhelmed with life in general. It felt like everyone was constantly needing something from me. It felt like I was constantly behind my kids. I was waking up with my kids. They were needing me all at the same time, everyone pulling on me at once, and it just felt like I could never get done what needed to get done. It felt like I was constantly on the hamster wheel trying to run and keep up, but never actually getting ahead, and constantly just falling more behind. If you are a mom that relates to that and you feel like you can never stay on top of the laundry or get all of the dishes done or meal plan ahead of time, so you're scrambling to make dinner and you don't have any of the ingredients that you need, I feel you. I have been there. I have walked through that, and this course is the roadmap to show you exactly how to set up intentional rhythms and systems in your life to help your home and life really flow on autopilot, so that you can spend more time investing in the people and the things that matter most to you. We only have one life, and how you spend it really, really matters. And I know for me, when I was spending so much of my time spinning my wheels trying to figure out what needed to get done, because I was so overwhelmed by the long to-do list of things that I had to do that I didn't even know where to start, I realized that I didn't want to continue to live life like that. I wanted to set up systems and rhythms that really just flowed alongside my life, so that I was staying on top of the things that needed to get done, so that I could actually enjoy the time with my family. If you are in that place of just feeling really overwhelmed and needing to find more routine in your days as a stay-at-home mom, and just practically how to get things done with little kids, I definitely encourage you to head to the link in the description where I link my course. You can also find a discount code that is exclusive to my YouTube family family. I know that this is going to change your life. I have seen the reviews, all of the reviews coming in that have said how much peace and less overwhelm that they're feeling in their day-to-day life, that they are actually enjoying their life for the first time in years. That one literally made me tear up. It is so worth it to invest the time and effort into implementing this loose framework that really helps you to get more done and have more structure in your days so that you can find freedom and joy in your days as a stay-at-home mom again. I can't wait for you to dive in and hear how this helps you. Thank you so much for listening to this. This really supports my channel and helps me to continue to create content like this, so I really, really appreciate it. We'll get back to the video now. Of those meals, and then I pull up my staple grocery list and go through my pantry and my fridge and make sure that I have all of those things, and any things that I'm missing or close to running out of, I add that to my grocery list as well. And so this has really helped to make sure that I'm not getting to, you know, Tuesday and I went and picked up my groceries on Monday and I'm already running out of the things that I need. And it has really helped eliminate those last minute trips to the grocery store. Yes, it still happens from time to time, but I try to make things as efficient as possible. And I found that before I did the staple grocery list, I would plan out our meals for the week, but I wouldn't necessarily, I would forget some staple ingredient that we needed when I was just glancing through my pantry and my fridge. And then the next day I would realize I didn't have something to make an item that I wanted, and I had to run to the store just to get one item. And honestly, that is just one of my pet peeves. I hate wasting time, and so running to the store with 3 children for one item just feels very unnecessary and like a waste of time. Plus you're just spending more money because you're going constantly and you're not adding that into your grocery budget and all of that. And so this has really helped eliminate a lot of that. We're actually going to take a break and we're going to go for a little walk because one of my children is having a little bit of a hard time and just a little fussy. So we're gonna go on a walk. Sometimes getting outside really is the productivity boost and mental boost that we all need. It just helps reset our emotions, gets us out in fresh air, gets us some of that vitamin D. But also, I think for me, it really is a productivity hack as well, because sometimes when I'm struggling to push through the end of a project, or I just feel like I don't have the mindset to get done what needs to get done, if I get outside for even just 15 minutes and feel the sun on my face, move my body a little bit, somehow that can reset like your whole day. So if you're struggling and you're in a spot where you feel like you need some more motivation and you're just not getting done what you need to get done, sometimes it helps to just walk away, take a break, get outside for a few minutes, get some fresh air, and then come back to it. Let's head outside really quick and then we'll come back and we'll reset and finish up what we were working on.
I know that you are having a hard time right now.
They smell delicious? Yep.
Oh, bees can go in there.
The bees could go in there, yeah?
Yeah,
They can pollinate them.
bees.
Your bees?
No, all bees.
Our bees?
Yeah, and then we can dance it, and then we can put it in our garden.
Yeah.
So we can make honey.
Yeah, so we can make honey.
You through, 'cause we only want what's best for you. I know that you are having trouble believing right now that everything is gonna be alright. I know that you feel all alone in this world, but you have to put your trust into us, and we will help you through, 'cause we only want what's best, what is best for you.
I do all
My friend Lauren brought us 4 little chicks yesterday that we bought from her. She got some extras and we needed some colored egg layers. And so she brought them over and we have 4 little new additions and they're just the cutest, tiniest thing. It's crazy how fast they grow, seeing these guys that are so tiny next to our ones that are only a few weeks old. Hey Knox, don't put them on the ground. No, we're gonna hold them. We're gonna keep them around here and hold them. They're too little. It's too windy right now.
But this little one is very cold at here. No! It's very cold.
You're keeping her safe?
So cold. Very cold. Baba, that was cold. But when there's 4 in the pocket, so I need to tip cold.
Okay.
It's cold.
Which one you want to hold?
That one.
Okay, go ahead.
This one? No,
He can
that
get it.
one.
He can get it. Careful, Nuxie. Do it soft.
Oh, I did that.
The lid there. Just leave it.
Yeah. Do all and berry so hey, don't we have?
He's not. He's doing good. Nuxie, can you sing to him again?
I don't.
Are you singing to him, Nuxie? Oh, hold him nice.
So thirsty.
They're sleeping?
No, this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's softly.
He's very soft. She's very soft. The last homemaking habit around grocery shopping that I wanted to mention is choosing a specific day to restock your groceries every week. I know I've mentioned several different habits that revolve around food, but I will say when you think about your home running smoothly, I think food is one of the key rhythms that you have to nail down first, because people need to eat, and I don't know about you, but my children are always hungry and always want to eat, and you know, that happens obviously day after day. So getting some rhythms in place that help make sure that you have the ingredients that you need to have to be able to make the food you want to make regularly at home and stay on budget is really key. And this has eliminated a lot of stress and overwhelm in our life, just nailing down grocery shopping and meal planning specifically. So that's why I have several things in this area, but choosing one specific day to restock groceries has really helped to make sure that we're not running out of things constantly. So for us, we meal plan on Sundays and then I place a grocery order and we go pick it up on Mondays. And obviously there are weeks that I run behind and things don't happen, but I found that having an actual day that I create a rhythm around that means that every week I'm coming to that day, I'm looking in my fridge and my pantry, and even if we didn't eat all the meals from the week before, I can go ahead and look at the week ahead, plug in the meals that we have remaining that we didn't use up, plan, you know, the remaining meals that we need to fill in, and then grocery shop, so that instead of waiting around until we run out of all the meals that we planned for the week before, but then we're continually running out of just the regular ingredients like butter and eggs that we need in the meantime, this helps to keep our pantry and fridge just stocked continually. The next habit that has made a really big difference for us is doing some piece of laundry every day. A lot of people recommend doing a load of laundry every day, and if that works for you, that is wonderful. We are not in a place that I feel like I need to do a load every single day, but what I do instead is I pretty much do a load every other day. So I have a small basket and I keep it intentionally small so that the laundry doesn't get overwhelming, and every time that the laundry basket gets full, I do a load of laundry. That typically works out to be every other day, but then on the days in between, I try to fold and put away laundry on those days. So I'll put in a load, transfer it to the dryer, and then the next day I'll get it out of the dryer in the morning and go ahead and put that load away the next day, so that we're continually keeping it going, because I found if I go a few days without doing laundry, it piles up and it feels really overwhelming to get on top of. But if I'm doing small pieces of it every day, it helps it just keep flowing so that we're not running out of clothes and it's not piling up to where it gets to be an overwhelming task. Another habit that seems really small but makes a huge impact on your days is tidying throughout the day. One thing I love to do is rinse off dishes from each meal as I go. So I typically, at this season of life, I'm not washing every dish that we use during each meal. That would be ideal, but currently I'm batching them together, usually one time a day, where I spend a little bit longer doing all of the dishes. But what makes that go a lot quicker is taking the time after every single meal to go ahead and rinse everything off so nothing hardens and is hard to take off when you go to do the dishes later. So whether you have a dishwasher or not, we do not have a dishwasher, so I have to hand wash everything. So it does take me longer than someone who had a dishwasher probably would. But just going ahead and rinsing them off and putting them in the sink, even if you have a dishwasher, go ahead and rinse them off and put them in the dishwasher instead then, if you don't want to put them in the sink. It only takes a few minutes, and this makes a really big difference in not letting them pile up and be overwhelming at the end of the day. Another thing that I like to add to this is wiping off the table after each meal as well, so that our table is clear, and I have found that that makes meal times a lot less overwhelming than if I come in and find sticky oatmeal left from breakfast hardened on the table and I have to scrub it off and make sure we have dishes and make sure everyone's fed. You know, the more you can eliminate to make the process seamless and easy, the better it will be. Another rhythm that has taken a while for me to get the hang of, but when I am regularly doing it, it really helps my productivity so much and my mindset, is making a to-do list the night before. So this is a rhythm that I would say I do 60 to 70% of the time currently. So there definitely is grace here if it takes a little while to get into the habit. This is one that I see such an impact with, but also on days when I go to bed later than I wanted to, or things come up unexpectedly and I'm just exhausted at the end of the day, I will admit that this is one of the first things to go, sadly. So do as I say, not as I do. But making a to-do list the night before really, really helps so much, because writing things out, like I like to write out any deep cleaning tasks that I need to do. If I have specific business things, I will add that to my to-do list. But even just small things like making a loaf of sourdough bread, or shaping the bread that I made the day before, or running to the post office to run a quick errand, I like to put all of those things on my to-do list to get them out of my head, because I think as moms, one of the things that we struggle with the most is decision fatigue and brain fog. And the more things we are holding in our head without writing them out, the harder it is to go throughout the day and actually know what needs to be accomplished, because it feels like your brain is just constantly spinning like an open tab in your browser when you have like 100 tabs open at the same time and it's buffering because there's too much loading at once. We can run into that really easily as moms, where we feel like that from the moment we wake up and we just don't even know exactly what needs to get done that day or where to even start. So writing it out the day before gets it out of my brain and on paper. I do this on my phone in the notes app, but you could write it physically on paper as well, whatever works for you. It gets it out of my brain so that the next morning when I wake up, I have my to-do list already there. I know the main things that need to get accomplished, and I can move throughout the day. And as I have time, when kids aren't needing me and they're happily playing, I can just look at my to-do list and say, okay, I have 15 minutes. What can I get done? And choose the thing that I can get done in 15 minutes, or at least get started on, and start working through that list, instead of having a few minutes where things are quiet and just picking up my phone and scrolling through social media, because I really don't know what I need to get done and I think I only have a few minutes. And so I just sit down, start looking at Instagram, and you know, 30 minutes later I'm still there scrolling, and I'm like, okay, why did I not use that time better? I feel like I just wasted that time, and then I feel really frustrated. I find that I do that a lot less when I actually have a to-do list and I have the things written out, because I don't have to sit and decide what needs to get done. All I have to do is open up my to-do list, look at it, and get started. Again, a lot of these things feel really small, but the more that you can eliminate any friction and stress in your days, the more peace you're going to find and productivity that comes alongside of that. Because a lot of times, it's not the actual task itself that feels so overwhelming, but it's the fact that we have procrastinated on that task to make it a much bigger task. So instead of just being 1 day's worth of work, it's 5 or 6 days worth of work, and we feel completely overwhelmed. And so our brains are telling us, you can't actually get this accomplished in that amount of time, so then we don't even get started. Whereas if you would start small and start implementing these small habits and rhythms to avoid getting to that point of needing to get 5 or 6 days worth of work done in 15 minutes, if you just took a few minutes here and a few minutes there slowly over time, that adds up to so much more than you would imagine. These tiny habits make such an impact on your days, on how your home feels overall, and just tidying throughout the day, having that calm, peaceful home that you desire, but also clearing out your brain and bringing more peace and calm to your brain as a mom as well. I have really found in my journey that a lot of productivity has to do with your mindset and clearing these spots of friction and these spots of stress and overwhelm, and just starting small with tiny little habits. Just start with one at a time. Don't start doing them all the same day. Start with one and keep going until it becomes almost to where you are just doing it without even thinking about it, to where it just feels like a rhythm in your life that is very natural and it just kind of flows. You don't have to make a lot of conscious decision about it. Keep going until you get to that point and then add another habit. Just start slow. Even though it feels so small, these things are going to add up so much more of an impact than you even imagine. I hope this video was encouraging in some way to you. I would love to know which habit stuck out to you the most that you would love to implement. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe and join this little YouTube family. And if you're not new around here, thank you so much for joining me for another video. I'm so grateful for you and every video that you watch, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye, friends.